What do you guys think about this sound? In this engine bay. It's about time. So what I just showed you was Fatboy Drift's former turbo 4-rotor, and one of those is now mine. Before we get too far into the video, I do actually want to say a huge thank you to SimpliSafe. Honestly, a major partner in the development of this car at this phase. SimpliSafe has been protecting this entire garage this entire time while I'm traveling out in Minnesota, which you'd think would be colder than California. It was not. SimpliSafe allows me to check on my cars while I'm gone, and oddly enough, this is a feature that's not even in the feature list, but this camera, you can talk through the camera. So I can talk on my phone through to the camera and talk to whoever's in the garage. In my case, when nobody's here, I whisper sweet words of nothing to my cars. This is gonna come in really handy because as we're getting more and more traction around the office, I would like these cameras outside as well. Go ahead and check out simplisafe.com/RobDahm. This is an ongoing relationship between us. For me, it has been a massive peace of mind, especially when we had the issue with the Diablo earlier. Nothing since, and thankfully, if we had an issue, we would be able to watch it. We've got all the alarms, all the doors, everything has just been peace of mind. So please check out my link, simplisafe.com/RobDahm, to learn more about this security system. Hey Rob, I really want to go outside. Oh, well, here, you gotta put on your rain jacket first.
Rob, we gotta film four-rotor stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys often ask me, what's with the 4-rotor? And obviously it's been years of that, rightfully. Even I question the sanity. Is this car gonna get finished? Well, I've committed to it 110%. That's not a question in my mind. It's just a strategic issue that we've had for a long time. Fortunately, we've gotten over the hurdles. One of the biggest challenges is this section of metal right here. That is my current 4-rotor. A lot of you that are very familiar and sharp-eyed know that this is not a complete 4-rotor. There's no eccentric shaft in there. That's because it's sitting over on the shelf. Let's take a look at that further though. There's an issue with what we see here. Not so much the centric shaft, but everything else around it. Look at these bolts. These are the bolts I purchased from Precision Engineering back then. I was told that these were the right bolts. Watch me spin this. That's not even remotely an attempt at being square, 90 degrees. It's gonna look a little off on camera because my fingers aren't holding it, but it's clear as day that this thing's on an angle. That's the bolt holding the damn engine together. All of the pressure of 4 rotors, that's trash as far as I'm concerned. As soon as I got these, that was a very disappointing find. Even the threading's bad, but whatever, you spend $500, it gets lost by UPS. That's the UPS could have kept those as far as I'm concerned. This is my oil pan. If anybody is building a 4-rotor and not building a race car like mine, hit me up. You can buy that off of me too. So we've got a lot of things that just aren't right for this car. You can see the engine's so low to the ground. Built to Apex is building a dry sump plate for the bottom. We're gonna have some sort of like 15-quart tank anywhere else. All of that does not get you ready for what's about to happen. This engine's gonna get finished as well. This is my 2,000 horsepower insane engine. We're going to billet plates, all of that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, these plates, these irons that are modified, you're just asking for a problem. I've always been a fan of billet plates. I always have been. I'm a supporter of people innovating. They've had massive issues. Everybody always messages me and says, oh, why don't you go to billet? Because they've been crap, honestly, for a while. So now the R&D's there, OEM's OEM, but when we're making this sort of power, billet has finally gotten to that point. There are a variety of vendors, by the way. We'll talk about that in a totally different video. Instead of working on this motor more and bits and pieces, and there's a lot of learning involved here, Carl has sold me. It is paid for. I paid for it almost a month ago now. Carl has sold me his experimental, completed 4-rotor block. So we have that coming here 100%. There's no like half it just is. Finally, I have a completed 4-rotor block. And so what's about to happen, both of us, you and me, all 3 of us, and Jared, what we're gonna do is dyno that engine out of the car. We're gonna make some serious power with Garrett's 106 mil turbo. It's almost on its way here. So we're gonna have the biggest Garrett turbo made, ball bearing, beautiful piece of machinery with a gorgeous, partially billet 4-rotor block. If any of you have ever seen Carl drift or any of the things that he does, you know that he is probably the #1 person to put the most number of hours on a 4-rotor, and I mean that. He knows what breaks on those and has helped steer me in the right direction. So what a better person to buy a completed block from than somebody who's seen all the problems that blocks secretly have that nobody talks about. So done deal, that's happening. You guys are gonna see a lot of cool stuff. You're gonna see a lot of cool shirts that we've been wanting to release, everything, because we've been waiting for this. All of us have been waiting for this for so long. We get a finished block. We've got the company making all the carbon fiber drive shafts, which they took their time because we weren't in a hurry to get anything else done. Quite frankly, as for the bodywork, I think what I'm gonna do is film a couple videos on me forming out the body. Here, come over this way. As you can tell, it's already a thick amount of Bondo from before. I've marked off tons of issues, and that's a whole video by itself, it could be, of all the things I want to do to make the body final. We've got some conversations with a couple different companies, and we talked to a couple people at Speedcore about making the final body. I'm telling you guys this right now, I don't care what shows up at SEMA in terms of like body-wise. I will tell you right now, guaranteed, I've got a finished engine. I will have a vehicle driving into SEMA. I will have an all-wheel drive four-rotor RX-7, I guess if you can call this an RX-7, at SEMA. It might be wrapped, it might be an inch thick of Bondo. There's certain things I'm okay with, but it will purr beautifully. We've got some awesome things coming. This has just been absolute insanity. Everything that came from that Corvette, all the hype, all of that, which we're in the middle of getting it ready to make good dyno power. All of that has turned this into a possibility. So we now have 2 four-rotors. And here's what I'm gonna ask you guys. This is kind of just a little carrot for this video. I wasn't gonna be sensationalist and make a video about the C8 Corvette. If I'm a guy who's gonna literally have 2 four-rotors, I'm gonna have Carl's four-rotor, then once Abel's four-rotor's finished, making even more power, we're gonna swap them out. So I'm gonna have 2 four-rotors. GM just released the new Corvette, the first rear engine, mid-rear engine Corvette. I don't know, there was an Aerovet. Aerovet was four-rotor. What do you guys think about taking that other four-rotor and putting it into the new C8? Like literally buying one of them, being one of those guys, buying it and just taking the LS out and then straight up engine swapping that with the spare engine I'll have for this. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below.
I say do it.
Okay, thank you. I've already messed up my words, and we got 1 vote for yes. Here's what's funny though. This will make some of you cringe as well, because even I did when we were actually building the rest of the chassis. These irons are my actual irons. That's the real engine. So all of those irons in this engine are getting replaced with billet pieces. I'm gonna have all of these pieces, that oil pan, those bolts, custom four-rotor irons. I could almost build 3 four-rotors. That one's gonna be the weakest, because that's like the stock. Everybody has problems that build those. I could build 3 four-rotors. That's how dedicated I've been to getting this project moving. So I think it just feels right to put one of them to good use afterwards. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. This is it. We're doing it, guys. You're not gonna see me fabricating on this car whatsoever. I've like had to promise everybody that does fabricate that I'm not going to. Understanding how to fabricate allows me to know what we can fit in the front. We just put those massive Earl oil coolers on that. We can fit even larger ones onto this car. So we're gonna be stuffing, like, look at this. So we do have this Bell intercooler here just sitting there as a mock-up, but we can get this even wider. I wanna retain the stock headlights. That's always been a thing, but I wanna just kind of tube everything out so all this extra sheet metal can go away. We're gonna have to make some sort of mounting to make the upgraded body handle 300 miles an hour and kind of like slip on and then lock in. But I think that's gonna simplify everything. So we'll get even wider space for the radiator and intercooler. We have this beautiful amount of space for really wide oil coolers, because we're gonna cool all of the oil. Every bit of oil you've ever imagined is getting cooled in this. I'm gonna go find oil. I'm gonna drain oil out of the used oil thing and cool that too, because damn it, we have enough oil coolers to do it. Doing all of this fabrication has allowed me to understand and respect what hoses, what sizes, what fabrication is necessary to make all of this possible. We are going to have a lot of hoses and massive diameter of them. So we're gonna be using this space here for intercooler piping. We're gonna be using this space here for radiators. Look at some of the things that we've done from the Corvette even. We're gonna be taking Corvette tricks and applying them to this car. I will tell you that a four-rotor block is so long, it'd be foolish to send cold water in on one side. This rotor eat, let this rotor eat, let this rotor start heating up. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? And then it comes back and it's just super hot. That's uneven. That's too long of an engine to have coolant. So they actually inject like one of the lines in halfway. We're gonna have to do something like that. So we're gonna have even more AN lines. You know, all the stuff that you saw me do with Earls, you know, performance plumbing lines, which is really Holly. We're gonna need their help for this massively, because their product is quality. I want to use that on this car. This is the whole car, the dream car, to use everything proper and right on. But you're gonna see just tons of hoses everywhere, and that actually is going to be a very expensive part of this build. I just want to show you guys some of the small stuff that just really, I think, speaks to the passion, hopefully. I welded these. These are not shaved or anything else other than just brushed a little bit. You know, as simple as just doing that stuff is what makes me happy, is cleaning this up. We did have a boost leak on the Corvette. We didn't notice because we weren't pushing it hard. Now we won't have any boost leaks anymore. So we did that one. Same thing with the 3-rotor. Those are actually, that's actually stock. I did on this pedestal, here and here. I just got to do a final sanding. Just stuff to clean it up. I mean, it's just what makes me happy. And now that we can do all this, we can just get stuff done. We're giving you guys a quick garage update because that's what this video is really about. I've been cleaning up the 3-rotor block. We're gonna end up having to replace those rotors, or at least the housings have gotta go. It's probably $5 grand at least to rebuild this car, which is why we bought the Corvette instead. We bet on the Corvette and that paid off. This car sat. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna continue in throwing all 3 projects on the channel. Like, this is just the lull that I've been hating to see happen, but we had projects waiting. Corvette goes to make its power. We'll go kill some stock C5s, make some people upset, stir things up like that. I just started welding base metal onto that. It's horrifying, and what I did was bad, it's scary, but we at least have a floor pan. Who doesn't love the 3-rotor? I love that car so much. And then the thing that gets highest priority completely is this. And like I said, not a bad way to spend 50, 60 grand on just a block. And then to engine dyno, it's gonna cost God knows how much more. That's where my dedication is at. This car has been a promise, it's been a dream, and it's time to make it a reality. So that should have been here by now, but that's okay. We're getting ready for it. The moment that thing comes, you guys will know. Patreon will know first, but you guys will know, and then all bets are off. This channel goes crazy. I've put everything into finishing that car. And so that's what the struggle's been right now, because we could have done tons of other projects. My dedication to that has been so strong that we're both eating ramen and suffering until that engine comes in, and then the magic happens.
I just can't believe you haven't finished it yet. It only costs like, I don't know, what, $8 million? Why don't you just finish it?
I know. You're right, Jarrett. You're not right normally, but today Jarrett's been on the wins. We have a shirt design, if you saw it on Instagram. Jarrett picked back, I picked front. I was wrong. That one hurt. And then now, why didn't I finish this sooner? Okay,
what?
Okay. You know what? Guys, Jarrett's working on your behalf to try and show you a little preview of the shirts. I said no. So you guys gotta thank Jarrett for this one, but okay, go ahead and show them the shirts. Show them what you got.
Oh, we're gonna show them. Check out the shirt I have made. I'm super excited because we have no 4-rotor shirts up, and this is gonna be our first 2 right here. So we got the Ahura triple design. We have the Andy Warhol shirt. It's literally 4 rotors, like the painting, you know, like the pop culture 4-rotor. And then we have your choose your engine, which is like a throwback retro video game menu, Mario, except you're gonna pick the 13B always because 13B or die. And those are the 3 shirts I've been completely busting ass for you guys. So I hope you guys like them. Please and thank you. All right.